Wow, you all got quiet very quickly. I didn't have to do anything. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the September, and it is certainly the first fall What's Up Downtown breakfast. Is it 30-something degrees this morning? Yeah, it's cold. Well, welcome. We're warm inside here at the beautiful Edgewater Hotel. I'm Jason Elstra, president of Downtown Madison. I think it's great to see everyone today. We got a fantastic presentation on a really cool project happening on East Washington Avenue. We're so excited to have Bridget, Fraser, the executive director of the Wisconsin Youth Symphony Orchestra, here today as our monthly speaker. An important part of downtown, and they're literally building an amazing downtown facility just a few feet from here. So welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a bunch of new members we want to welcome and thank, and many of them are here today. First, we have Commute with Enterprise, a largest van pool provider in North America, providing employees with a reliable ride to work in a comfortable and contained environment. They're represented today by Valerie Hoff. We've got Cullex LLC, a locally owned business in Monona that offers HVAC services to residential and commercial customers. Am I supposed to hit a button, John? Yeah, there we go. Was I supposed to do that? Probably. There was a meeting about that I maybe didn't attend or something like that. So I apologize. Where are they? They're over there. All right, Fetch Rewards. I know we have a whole bunch of folks from Fetch Rewards. It's a mobile application company that gives consumers access to quick and easy rewards every time they snap a photo of their receipt and submit on e-receipt. And we are very excited. They just moved their headquarters to another location downtown in the Arden building. So feet away from this new project. So we are very excited to have the team from Fetch Rewards here. We've got Madison Media Partners. I know Ross is here somewhere. There he is. Ross is here somewhere. A company that helps clients with media strategy, audience insight, and storytelling with their brands, Wisconsin State Journal, the Capital Times, Madison.com, WiscNews.com, and other regional publications. And again, Ross is here today. And thank you so much for covering downtown all the time. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but it's good to have coverage, right? Remax Preferred Commercial Real Estate, a company that helps clients build their desired lifestyle through real estate investments, represented today by Sarah Mohammed. Welcome, Sarah. Revive Restoration, a company that offers residential and commercial restoration services for water damage, fire damage, and more, represented by Diana Decker, longtime friend. And Sass Madison, a new restaurant by the owners of Tudo Pasta that opened in mid-August at 10 West Mifflin. Sass stands for Sauce and Shelled Seafood, represented by Kate Malonzi. And we have eaten there multiple times, and I highly recommend. They have this potato wedge thing. Oh, I don't think it's good for you, but boy, is it good. So check them out. Check them out right on the Capitol Square. So thank you to all of our existing members and our new members. We are here for you. All right, we're not the only organization busy here in downtown. Our great friends and partners at Madison Central Business Improvement District, they have a lot happening as well. One of my favorite events of the summer, and yes, you're reading that right, the Dane County Fire Truck Parade. I think it's made for people younger than me, but I really enjoy it as well. Kids can come down, they can climb on the fire engines, have a lot of fun. That is on Sunday, October 9th, which is amazingly just a week and a half away. We have our next night market, which is happening on Friday, October 14th. This is a joint event with Science on the Square. This is a really fun night market. Actually, it's the busiest night market of the year. They're happening on State Street from 4 to 8 p.m. And again, that is on Friday, which is different than normal. And then we have Halloween celebration. Yes, there's no Freak Fest, but we do have a family Halloween. So you can come get as much candy or as little candy as you want on October 26th from 3 to 6. If you have kids, it is a really fun day downtown. All of the kids dressed up on State Street. The businesses do a great job of handing out candy. So it's really fantastic. For full calendar events, visit our friends at www.visitdowntownmadison.com for more information. All right. We'd like to thank and recognize our sponsors of today's event. The What's Up Downtown series is made possible by our lead sponsor, Carlson, Black, O'Callahan, and Battenberg. And the rumor is true. They are moving just a few floors down, and now they can see directly into my office, literally directly in. And Katie Hinkle is here today. Her partner, Angie Black, isn't a DMI executive board member. So I guess I can't take naps any longer at my desk because they'll be watching. We're excited that they're remaining downtown, and they are just a huge supporter of downtown. Matt Carlson, little known fact, was one of the people, along with Susan Schmitz, that created our State of the Downtown report, which we're going to have an event here in November about facts and figures for downtown. But today we have Katie Hinkle, partner at Carlson Black, here to say a few words. Welcome, Katie.
Thank you, Jason. We will be keeping an eye on you. No, all good.
The board thanks you.
Yes. Make sure we don't take too many naps.
Yes.
That's fine. So happy to be here today. Carlson Black is a specialized real estate business and tax firm based here in Madison, although we serve clients throughout the Midwest. Many of you we've had the pleasure of working with. As Jason said, we have a long history with DMI and many of the charitable organizations here in Madison. So we're so pleased to be a series sponsor, and we're so pleased to hear this wonderful presentation today. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Katie, very much. And again, thank you to our friends at Carlson Black. The What's Up Downtown series is also made possible by our supporting series sponsors, Ho Chunk Gaming Madison, the State Bank of Cross Plains, TDS, the beautiful Edgewater Hotel, here we are, UW Health, Unity Point Health, Meritor, and Quartz. So a huge thank you to everyone on those teams that have made this event possible. We have a monthly sponsor here today who knows this project and knows many of the projects downtown. They're helping make sure these projects get built. We have Mike Huffman from Huffman Facility Development here today to talk about their projects and what their company does. So we're very excited to welcome the founder, the president of Huffman Facility Development, Mike Huffman. Welcome.
Thanks, Jason, and great to be here in association with such an important project that you're going to hear about later. Our company, Huffman Facility Development, has operated in the Madison area for the last 22 years. We are owner project managers. We help groups that aren't typically savvy in the development process to get through their process with managing design and construction. And we're very proud to have been involved with a number of great, important downtown projects. We really look for those nonprofit groups, groups like the Madison Children's Museum, Domestic Abuse Intervention Services, and now an iconic building that we think will be very important for Madison, for a very important community group. So proud to be part of the Wisconsin Youth Symphony Orchestra project. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, very much. All right, on to the show. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce this morning's speaker, Bridget Fraser. Bridget was appointed the executive director of the Wisconsin Youth Symphony Orchestras, WYSO, in September of 2010. Over the past 12 years, she has led the organization through a period of extraordinary growth and change. Bridget works collaboratively with the WYSO board of directors and the WYSO administrative and artistic staff to ensure that WYSO programs are strong, successful, and sustainable. She oversees a team of 9 dedicated professionals and a multitude of program offerings that serve a growing enrollment of nearly 450 students from 19 counties in South Central Wisconsin. Wow, that's a lot. You're going from everywhere. A graduate of St. Catherine's University in St. Paul, Minnesota. All right, Minnesota. Bridget has devoted her career to arts administration. Prior to working as the executive director of WYSO, Bridget held positions at the Mendelssohn Performing Arts Center, Chicago Symphony, Ballet Chicago, and the Illinois Chamber Symphony. In addition to her role with WYSO, Bridget serves on the board of directors of the Youth Orchestra Division of the League of American Orchestras, and she is a member of the Madison Downtown Rotary, like I am, and Tempo. We are pleased to have Bridget here this morning to talk about this important project on East Washington Avenue, wrong street, and will usher in new opportunities for music education in our community. Following today's presentation, we will have time for Q&A. So if you got questions, hold them and we'll make sure to have time at the end. So let's give a huge round of applause for our good friend, Bridget Fraser. Welcome.
Yeah. I had like 5 warnings on the stairs. So, and I do appreciate that. Thanks, Jason. Super excited to be here this morning. Before I get started, though, I just want to say thank you to DMI for the invitation and for Jason and John's help putting this presentation together. Question for all of you. Anybody here or what was in WISO, in the youth orchestra? A parent or a grandparent of somebody who was in a youth orchestra? Anybody from a youth orchestra program outside of the city of Madison? I know, raise your hand. Yes. It's pretty unusual when I speak at these events that WISO hasn't touched lives of our community in some way. So super excited to be here. We have the most amazing partners for this project. You heard from Mike, and we have lots of our friends here from Findorf and from Strang, from Urban Assets, Helm Commercial, Oak Bank, Pulaski, and, you know, frankly, as Mike said, nonprofits aren't skilled at building buildings, and we couldn't do the work we're doing without their help. So thank you, partners. Really wonderful. I want to just start by giving you a little bit of oversight into what the WISO program is and our mission. So WISO enriches lives by providing transformational musical experiences and opportunities. And we've been doing that for 56 years. WISO was founded in 1966. We were, for about 52 of those years, part of the University of Wisconsin, housed in the Humanities Building on the School of Music, with the School of Music. And we enjoyed that partnership very important partnership for many, many years. We have, as Jason alluded to, experienced tremendous growth over those 50-some years. We started out with one orchestra in 1966 with about 70 kids in it. And today, coming out of the pandemic, we're taking up our enrollment to near 450 kids in the program. And we have 3 full orchestras, 2 string orchestras, and a number of ensembles. We also have a very important community access program, and that program provides free lessons, free instruments, group classes, performance opportunities to kids in our community, in our county, who wouldn't typically have access to and be able to afford this kind of enrichment opportunity. So there's nearly 100 kids in that program, and the demand really for those services are limitless, I think. Important to note that most participants in the WISO programs are subsidized to some extent. We have a very robust and healthy scholarship program that we offer financial assistance for tuition, for private lessons, for instrument help, repair. We just really work hard to make sure that these opportunities are available to anybody who has the desire and the passion and the commitment to want to be in the program. So it's also quite a diverse organization, not only from a staffing perspective, our staff is quite diverse, but the Music Makers program is 81% of those kids speak English, speak a language other than English in the home. So one of the reasons we're super excited about this building is that we're going to be able to bring all of those kids together under one roof. And that's really exciting. So why does WISO need a home? Why do we need a home to play in an orchestra? Well, as I alluded to, we have had the benefit of being at the university for many years. But during that time, our needs for space and the university's needs for space were on a bit of a collision course, and it was getting very difficult to schedule space there. We had really outgrown it. And it was time, as some folks said, time to come out of your grandpa's basement. So, the leadership of the Wisconsin Youth Symphony Orchestras made the decision to leave the university. And we had an agreement in principle with the McFarland School District to be in residence. They had just built a brand new performing arts center and really lovely facility. And then guess what? COVID hit. And it was time to pivot. And crisis breeds opportunity. At that point, we said, well, now's the time. We need our own space. If we're going to sustain this program, we need to go. And the board voted to do just that, approve a capital campaign, pick our partners, and away we went. So there's the impact of this facility on the community, not only on the WISO program. I mean, it's critical, of course, for the WISO program, but there's a real need in our community for large rehearsal spaces. We have an abundance of wonderful performance venues, but large spaces suitable for rehearsals that are acoustically sensitive and isolated are really hard to come by. So in a few minutes, I'm going to walk you through some of the spaces in the WISO building. You'll see what I mean. This building is designed for maximum flexibility. And as I said, WISO is going to use it, of course, and our programs will grow as a result of it. But the community now also has an amazing resource, a beautiful event space, a beautiful meeting space. So our hope is that it really is used by the entire community. What's really also very exciting about this location is that it's part of this burgeoning youth arts corridor on East Wash. I mean, who would have thought a number of years ago that we'd have the My-Arts building, we'd have, you know, that whole corridor being redeveloped, the Sylvie, the Art and Lit Lab, so many opportunities for the arts in that few block radius. And we were very fortunate to be able to secure that Avenue Bar site, which is the location for this building, the old Avenue Bar, and secured our lead gifts from Pleasant Rowland, Jerry Frauchi, Diane Balwig, and many others, and away we went. So it's terribly exciting. And as most people describe this building, it is truly iconic. What's next? Let's see. Why is it important to study music? These, I won't read through these, but there are so many studies that point to why the study of the arts and music is important as we develop youth in our community. Study after study points to the success and the achievement of kids who study the arts, and in particular, music. So we are in the business of youth development. Our alumni of the WISO program number about 5,000, I believe, over the last few decades. Some of these young people have gone on and hold seats in major orchestras around the world. We have a WISO alum as principal bass in the San Francisco Symphony, principal trumpet in the Baltimore Symphony, principal bassoon in the Pittsburgh Symphony, principal viola in the Royal Stockholm Philharmonic. So the tentacles of WISO reach around the world. But if you don't go into music, you're going into something else. You're becoming a leader in your chosen profession. We have music teachers, we have scientists, politicians, medical folks, and they take the lessons that they learned at WISO, which is passion and determination and hard work, and they carry those with them throughout their lives. And so that's the impact. And that's why this program needs to be sustained in its own facility. Oh, something popped up here. It says cross this off my list.
Yeah, I want to do that. Or remind me tomorrow.
All right, next slide. So this is, again, just a little bit of a map so you can see where we're located. The site of the Avenue Bar, kitty corner from the My-Arts building, across the street, and a couple blocks down from the Art Lit Lab. proximity to downtown, super happy to be part of this new downtown community and part of the developing youth arts campus. Well, how did we get to where we are from a design standpoint? You've heard us say with this iconic building. Here's Drew Martin is here this morning. He's our lead designer and architect on this job. And I just have to say, if you've got questions, and I hope we'll have time for some questions, Drew can tell us a little bit more because the design of this building is amazing. It's all built, all designed off of his inspiration, musical instruments. Looks like a cello on its side to me. What do you think? Lots of curves, lots of rich woods of the instruments, brass, even the landscaping will be musical. We're going to have trumpet lilies and bluebells and all kinds of great things. So there's a lot of little surprises as we're going to make our way through the floor plans. But there you go. It's iconic, isn't it? It really is a beautiful, beautiful building. And it makes a statement. And it makes a statement that the arts mean something and that they're important, and especially music. So let's just walk quickly through the building. You're going to enter the building off of, doesn't show it on here, but there's a drive-through that parents and families will be able to drive under the building and drop their kids and instruments off. And you enter this beautiful space that's glass, looks out onto East Wash with this grand sweeping staircase that takes you up to community rooms. Oh, one back. I don't want to miss this one. This is the signature rehearsal hall. We're calling it Rehearsal A right now, but we're going to, we probably need to find a better name than that. It's 3 stories high, 39 feet. It is designed with superior acoustics. And there's a balcony that surrounds it so that families can view. It can hold small recitals, chamber performances. And there are actually 3 rehearsal rooms in this building. Each rehearsal room can hold a 100-person orchestra, unheard of in the community. So we'll go to the next slide and just have a look at the rehearsal B, I think. Yep. Again, beautiful soaring space. This is on the 2nd floor. This is a 2-story space. Again, superior acoustics. 3 orchestras can rehearse at one time in this building and not be disrupting the educational process. So that's why it took a special team of designers and acousticians to put this together. Third, this is the 3rd rehearsal studio, and this will hold our percussion ensemble. We have a really top-notch youth percussion ensemble, probably one of the finest in the country. This will be their home. We have probably more percussion equipment than you can ever imagine that will be stored in this room. And it looks out onto that little glass door there is an outdoor space, which will be nice. We have 8 studios and classrooms of various sizes that can be available for small rehearsals, sectionals, community use. And I just think it's important also to point out that we've designed the building to be extremely flexible. In other words, these spaces are not only suitable for music, a few of them will be suitable for dance, and for art, for visual art, we'll use a couple of these studios that will have gallery rails that that artists will be able to display their work. So lots of different rooms, different sizes. On the 3rd floor, there are practice rooms, and this is where kids can go to warm up. They can practice for their auditions. They can take lessons. So and those rooms all have windows, which is really great. Next slide. As I mentioned, lots of events can take place here. We have full catering kitchen. We have enough power for bringing in, hot boxes and things for large events. And so we can bring back our WISO community. Kids love to eat. We can do pizzas, bagels, you name it, we can do it here. And all with an eye toward building that really special community. And this is the best part, I have to say. We have never had administrative office space that was suitable for the number of staff. So personally, I'm really excited that there's going to be offices for my staff. Seems like, seems obvious, but it hasn't been. And it's going to be great to have everybody in the same building. So at this time, I just want you to, again, just take a look at this really tremendously, beautifully designed building. And if you drive down East Wash, you'll see the fence wrap. And if you're walking down East Wash and you're walking by the fence wrap, take your phone out and scan the QR code. I won't tell you what you're going to get because you're going to see some of it in a bit, but super exciting. And construction is coming along, coming out of the ground. You can see things happening, which is very exciting. The crane arrived. That was exciting. So we were looking forward to the crane, and the crane is now on site. And I think I mentioned to Ben or somebody, like, it's so small, it's like a baby crane. He's like, no, don't worry, it's going to go up, don't worry. So anyway, construction expected to be complete in October, and we hope to start programming in January of 2024. So at this time, I would like to introduce Diane Ballwig. She's going to come up here and talk to you a little bit about how we're going to get this project financed and paid for. And Diane is the campaign chair for this exciting project.
I feel like I could talk for just maybe 30 seconds because Bridget covered everything very well. I have to ask another question to follow up what Bridget said is, how many of you ever played an instrument? Just played an instrument. There you go, Bridget. Yeah, look at that. I was a music teacher for years, and my son was in WISO, and that's how I got connected to it. In fact, he was in the percussion ensemble that Bridget talked about. He won the concerto competition and played with the Madison Symphony. This is literally a couple decades ago, but it did open up his life, and not just the education that Bridget is talking about, and what it does to students and children's minds, but also lifelong friendships that they develop and work as a team. I'm wondering if you have been in ensembles or played in a band or sung in a chorus, and those are still some of your best friends. I did, and they are still my best friends, and we've been lifelong companions. In fact, it's a group of women that I used to sing with, and we call ourselves the LLC, the Long Lasting Companions. And there would never be anything that could replace that. So I start with this quote usually that says, the quote is, Frederick Douglass, and he said, it's easier to build strong children than repair broken men. It's easier to build strong children than repair broken men. I've been a lifetime teacher, and so I work with kids all the time and see that. And when I look at projects like the My Arts building and WISO, that's the quote that comes to mind, because we're building stronger children by these programs. I also relate this project to a butterfly, and I read that butterflies are in cocoons from 1 to 3 weeks before they spread their wings. And I say WISO's been in a cocoon for 55 years. And now they're building this new building to spread their wings. I've seen it in so many ways that when Bridget talks about some of the educational values, I've been a chaperone with 5 concert tours, international concert tours that WISO has done. Peru, Argentina, Italy, Germany, can't remember. Anyway, these kids, when they travel, they are so talented. And not only is the music wonderful in the spots that we're able to perform in and see, it opens up such doors, opens up their eyes to the rest of the world. But I tell people they are also like the best ambassadors we could have. I think government could get rid of their ambassadors and just hire WISO because they visit with people. We've played in low-income schools for kids that probably would never see or hear classical music or be able to touch and feel and hear instruments close up. We've played in prison institutions. We've played in mental health institutions, as well as patios, porches, cathedrals, amazing places. And everywhere we go, the kids are out talking to people and being a part of a new culture and community and being truly ambassadors for our country. So there are many, many pros to the WISO program. I also think of a quote by Helen Keller, and she said, the true disability is not being blind. The true disability is having sight but no vision. I look at what WISO is doing, and you can clearly see that with the help of our architects and designers and builders, that this is a building that has real vision for the future, room for growth, room for expansion. I also tell people that, do you know that in 1950, 51% of all homes had a piano? And in the year 2000, 15% of homes had a piano. And do you know, since 1950, 85% of all piano dealerships have closed in the United States. And so if you think of some of those numbers of losing a little bit of our creativity and our nature, the average American spends 40% of their free time watching TV. I'd much rather have them spend their time learning to play an instrument and sharing their talent and building friendships in an ensemble. So I guess I think we're kind of ready for questions. We've talked enough. The campaign is, as we all know, and my family business is a steel construction business, prices are going up. So right now the estimate is about 36 million for this project. And that includes an endowment fund, which I think is very wise, so that as the building ages, we'll have funds that can be used to do replacements and repairs. And I see people also shaking their heads about that. We're at about 23 million right now. And we have just started. We had 3 events in the last month that we invited people to talk about the building and the project, tell them about the campaign, pass out materials, and we had young musicians perform at all of those events. We've gotten several gifts recently, some larger gifts because of those events and because people know the history of WISO. But that is a big major campaign, 36 million. Of course, the lead gift was Pleasant and Jerry. And they've always been so generous. I tell people this, it's a side note, but I was at Overture last night for Greg Zellick, the organ concert. He's amazing. You should go see him if you can. Jerry and Pleasant were there and I talked to them. Jerry turned 91 this month and Pleasant is 81. And when I look at all of the things they've done in Madison, I think we need to really show them our gratefulness and thank them. Seems like every nonprofit that I see and work on, and they're not getting any younger. And I worry someday that we won't have the chance to express our gratitude. So when you see them, be sure you tell them that. I'm very grateful for their leadership in so many areas. We have naming opportunities. As Bridget said, we're not going to call the studio Studio A and Studio B. So think about how either you individually or maybe your business would like to support this project. We are going to need some real major gifts. And I tell people from experience with the Madison Community Foundation, there are 44 capital campaigns happening around the Madison area right now. So I'll make this one number 1 on your list. It's going to impact the future. And it's, as also was said, it's in such a prime location. We are building a youth arts corridor from Overture Center to the Children's Museum, the new historical museum, Sylvie, My Arts, and so forth down the line. I am on the Kennedy Center board in Washington, D.C. for their National Committee for the Performing Arts. And we meet at different places in the country and view what they're doing with the arts and education. I have said to them, I'm bringing you to Madison when this building is done, because there's so many things that we should be proud of in Madison. Jason, you should boast about this even more, that you're going to have the Kennedy Center board come here and view all of our wonderful arts venues that we have and education to take that creativity and enthusiasm into the future. So if you have questions about any kind of gift fundraising, we have 5 more events planned that are going to be social sharing our story events before the end of this year. If you're interested in coming or sending somebody, please give us a name and let us know. We're sitting right up here at this table. We'd love to start spreading this word to a broader audience. Is that enough?
Yeah.
Should I ask each table to make a pledge right now?
No, no.
I'm done. Okay.
You're done. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Diane. We would love to take some questions because we have all of our project partners here. So if you have a question about this project, whether it's the architecture side, the construction side, the management side, project management, please, let's hear them because we got a lot of great folks here. I'm guessing somebody wants to hear maybe just a little bit more about the design inspiration. That would be good, wouldn't it? Is there a microphone for Drew? Sorry, Drew. I know how you love this.
Drew, yes. We got Drew here from Strang, who is the designer of this beautiful project.
Yes, yes.
Hi, Drew. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Tell us about the inspiration of the project.
It was inspired by musical instruments, just kind of the movement of music, and also the hills of the driftless area of Wisconsin. That reflects in a lot of the materials as well.
One of the things that was really interesting, I was meeting with you and Peter Tan, who's also here, Chief Design Officer for Strang, about this visualization you got from an inside of an instrument. There's this artist that does work of inside of instruments. How important was that for the design?
That definitely was a major inspiration. There's a series of photos, all kinds of different instruments, but the one that's inside of a cello, I think, is the most inspirational. It just looks like a concert hall from inside of the instrument.
Awesome. Well, all right. Questions for anyone on the team? I could ask questions all day, so you don't want me to do that. All right, Katie, thank you.
I'll use the mic. I'm curious about the Music Makers program. So do you partner with Madison Public Schools for that? Like, what is your engagement with the public schools and other area schools for that? And how is that connection working for you guys?
Yep. Good question. Thanks. The Music Makers program was an existing program that was started by Bonnie Green back in 2008. And WISO partnered with that program for a number of years. Back in about 2016, the Music Makers Board of Directors came to WISO and asked us if we might be willing to step up and assume responsibility for that program. They just weren't able to, they just didn't have the capacity to continue to run it and to grow the program. So at the time when we took on that program, there were about 60 kids in that program. It's all word of mouth. We haven't had to recruit, and we have a waiting list. And we're really just held back by space. That problem will be solved pretty soon. And frankly, teachers, there's a limited number of available teachers. So we haven't really gone into the schools to recruit simply because we just can't yet. If we do, I think the floodgates would open because this is a service. I mean, this is really needed. These kids don't have that opportunity to study, and we want to make it possible. So, yeah, thank you.
Bridget, to what extent are volunteers engaged in the organization?
We could not run the program without the volunteers. I think we have about 150 volunteers. And those folks are primarily parents, but also board members and community members. Anything from helping out with rehearsals on a Saturday, taking attendance, transportation, bagels, pizza, you name it. WISO is really a committee-driven organization and really is sustained by a really robust volunteer core group of people. So many, many volunteers. Yep. Thanks, Larry. Other questions? If there are no further questions, we want to end with a little video. And I think this video will speak, you probably could have just watched this and not had me speak, because this is really why we're doing what we're doing. Nothing's happening. Okay, let me use the mouse. Ah, here we go. The arts and music are not going down under WISO's watch, I assure you. And I want to thank you again for inviting us to be here today, and thank all our project partners for being here. And thanks, Jason. It was great. Thanks.
Thank you. You know, you all know this from me, but Madison is a special place. As I am listening to this beautiful music by the Wisconsin Youth Symphony Orchestra, I'm staring out on this beautiful lake. And to have these special institutions that match the beauty we have in the city and the beautiful people we have in the city, it really is a special place. But it doesn't happen without institutions like you and what you all are doing on Mifflin and East Mifflin and East Washington, this amazing youth arts and arts corridor. That is something special. So thank you, Bridget. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Drew, and the entire team that built this project, and everyone that was part of it. We are very, very appreciative. You're making downtown a place where everyone belongs. So thank you. All right. Thank you to our sponsors as well, Carlson, Black, O'Callahan, and Battenberg. Thank you, Katie. I think you were the one person that had your hand up that was part of the youth orchestra, right? So well done. Hochik Gaming Madison. Thank you to Tara and the team at the State, and Dennis, I think, is also here. State Bank of Cross Plains, TDS Telecom, Huffman Facility Development. So thank you to Mike and to Noah who are here. The Edgewater Hotel, please do. We've got plenty of pastries and fruit, so grab some on the way out. And UW Health, Unity Point Health, Meritor, and Quartz. Come back next month where we have Letitia Nelson the not so new, she's relatively new director of the Goodman Center on the East Side. She will be with us here in October. And then on November 16th, join us for a special What's Up Downtown breakfast where we launch our State of the Downtown, the 2020 State of the Downtown report, the facts and figures of live, work, and play in downtown. And the mayor will be with us. Mayor Satya Rhodes-Khan will be with us on November 16th. We'll see you at a bunch of events. Thank you all for being here. It was great seeing you. Have a great day.